So It Chapter 2 has a big task set before it. Not only does the film have to try to recapture the magic of the first movie, magic that allowed said film to break box office records and become the highest grossing horror film of all time, but it also has to try to do it while replacing the original film's amazing child cast with adult actors. And boy, looking at everything we've seen so far from the film, we think they might have absolutely nailed the casting. From James McAvoy coming in to play the role of the loser's de facto leader Bill, all the way to Andy Bean taking on the part of the soft-spoken introvert Stan. The lineup is looking incredibly solid. And today we're going to break down why we think that each actor cast is the perfect fit to play the grown-up losers. Okay, admittedly, James McAvoy may not look a ton like the younger version of Bill Denborough, as portrayed in the original film by Jaden Martell. In fact, out of the entire cast, he is probably the actor who looks the least like his younger counterpart. That being said, McAvoy has a long, proven history of dynamite performances that more than make up for the physical differences. He can totally carry a franchise, such as when he took over for Sir Patrick Stewart in the role of Professor Xavier in the X-Men franchise. Say what you will about those films, but McAvoy's Charles was always a highlight. So odds are that we'll more than likely be able to suspend our disbelief that this kid grew up into this dude, since McAvoy is sure to bring his raw acting talent to bear, facing off against an evil clown who likes to feast upon children marinated in tangy fear sauce. You know, it is kind of weird, guys. When the internet was trying to figure out who exactly could play the adult version of Sophia Lillis's Beverly Marsh, pretty much one name rang out over all the others: Jessica Chastain. And lo and behold, that's exactly who was cast in the role. Not only could the two actresses look like they were related at the very least, but Chastain has the acting chops to be able to pull off the character. She has received numerous acting accolades over her career, for films ranging from The Help to Zero Dark 30 to Molly's Game. She should definitely be able to portray a woman who went through so much trauma as a child. And I'm not just talking trauma of the dancing clown variety. Now, casting the adult version of Jeremy Ray Taylor's Ben Hanscom posed a few challenges for the producers of Chapter 2. Not only did they need to find an adult who looked close enough to the original actor so as to be believable as the same person, but they needed to find someone who looked like an adult version of the character after he had lost weight. And boy howdy did they find the perfect fit in actor Jay Ryan. Now, upon initially seeing the two actors side by side, you may not see much of a similarity, but look at the eyes and the brow. Sitting side by side, you could again believe that the two were at the very least related, which is close enough to be believable in our books. And considering the challenges filmmakers faced with this particular casting, they did about as good a job as they could have possibly been asked. Finn Wolfhard really did a fantastic job in the original It, breaking out of his Stranger Things mold to portray the foul-mouthed jokester Richie Tozier. So who better to play an adult version of the character than someone with some serious comedy skills? Enter Bill Hader, perhaps best known to you as the not Seth Rogen cop in Superbad, or for any of his outstandingly hilarious characters from Saturday Night Live. He's sort of in the same camp as McAvoy here. He doesn't look particularly like his younger counterpart, though to his credit, he does at least look more like Wolfhard than McAvoy does Martell. However, Hader has proven that he is a comedic force to be reckoned with, in addition to being a talented actor, so he'll more than be able to hold his own as Richie. Mike Hanlon is a damaged soul. Being the only member of the Losers Club to stick around in Derry, it was almost as important to find an actor who could pull off the stern, weary look of someone who not only remembers the horrors of what he saw as a kid, but also what it means for the future, as it was to find someone who looks like an adult version of young actor Chosen Jacobs. So naturally, the filmmakers went with the Old Spice guy. Naturally. Isaiah Mustafa was cast in the role of an older Mike. Mustafa may not have a ton of major acting roles to his name, mainly playing smaller supporting parts or his aforementioned commercial roles. But It Chapter 2 could very well be a fantastic opportunity for him to really break out as an actor. Okay, you cannot look at these two actors and tell me that they aren't the same person. Did someone just use the face app thing on Jack Dylan Grazer and call it another person? Did he fall into a tear in the space-time continuum and emerge as James Ransone? Seriously, I don't think they could have found someone better to play an older Eddie Krasbrook if they cast a member of Grazer's own family in the part. I don't even need to talk about Ransone's acting credentials here. He looks so much like the original actor that all the rest of that stuff is just sort of a moot point. 10 out of 10 would cast as Eddie again. Finally, we come to Andy Bean as the adult version of Wyatt Olef's Stan Uris. While Olef was pulling hard for Joseph Gordon-Levitt to play his older self, looking at Bean and Olef side by side, you can't really argue with the physical similarities here. Though honestly, if the film follows the book as close as we think it will, it might not matter too much how similar they look, since Stan may have a slightly reduced role. Of course, maybe Pennywise will pull a Georgie and he'll hang around, taunting the survivors via his otherworldly influence. That's just our reasoning behind how good the casting is. Do you agree? Who do you think should have been cast in the roles? Or do you think they should have just waited 27 years and let the original actors play the roles themselves? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below, and while you're down there, why not subscribe to Screen Rant for even more great videos like this in your feed each and every day. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you at the movies.